Thank you for being here. My name is Harry Burton. I'm one of the directors of the New Actors Centre. I'm going to introduce some people, but then we're going to hear mainly in the next 20 minutes from our guest of honour, Dame Sheila Hancock. Who, for those of you who don't know, most of you do, Dame Sheila was one of the founders of the Actors Centre. I feel deeply moved, but I also think it's profoundly symbolic that we have a founding mother here from those days as we push this boat out once more in the hope of a great voyage. So, I'm going to introduce, this is Allan Lochhead from the Marylebone Theatre. This is Alexander Gifford, Artistic Director of the Marylebone Theatre. Just do this quickly, but you'll hear from them again. On my left, Louise Bangay, who's one of the directors of the New Actors Centre. Kate Maravan, again, one of the directors. And Aviana Snow, another director of the New Actors Centre. We are we're the executive wing of the campaign group that many of you have supported over the last 4 years since the unspeakable happened, and we're not going to dwell on that. But what we are going to do is hear briefly from Alexander. Over to you.
About a year or two ago, we started developing our own little programme of courses and classes, welcoming teachers, and we thought, wouldn't it be nice to have a new actor centre? And I went online and I found out that there was this group of people still carrying the flame from the old one. So it was a natural marriage of minds, and indeed, as Harry says, we found it to be a very loving, harmonious collaboration. And we do feel there's a very good star above us for this relaunch. And that's kind of echoed back to us by the amazing warmth that you're bringing to this day. So thank you very much. But I do just want to say that it's a little bit precarious. I think Louise will speak about this because we need people to do these courses and classes, and we need to demonstrate that this pilot program is going to work. We need to demonstrate it to our board. We need to demonstrate it to Equity. So Louise will say more, but please be with us and keep bringing this incredible enthusiasm to the project. I'll introduce you now to Adrian, who's part of British Actors.
So I just wanted to let you know that this is the 100th anniversary of Rudolf Steiner House being here, this building. Rudolf Steiner House was built 100 years ago as a theatre and very much for the arts. Rudolf Steiner was a great fan of the arts and gave lots of different indications to actors and dancers and musicians and all the rest of it. So we were thinking, how could we celebrate 100 years? And then I feel that this the new Actors Centre here is bringing a new energy to the initial founding principles of what this house was built for. And so I'm really grateful that this is happening and really welcome you all. And come and join these classes and feel also at home here at Rudolf Steiner House. That's all I want to say.
I didn't even know I had to make a speech. He phoned me up and said, I got the thing going on about the accident, will you come? I said, no, I can't. And eventually I got here, and here I am, and jolly glad I am to see you all. What I might be able to do off the top of my head is just tell you about the beginnings. What happened was, I think I was working with him, but Clive Swift, who a lot of you know from television and things like that, came up to me one day and said, I've got this idea of an actors centre, would you help me? Now Clive was a brilliant man, full of ideas, absolutely imaginative and wonderful, and hopeless at getting anything done. Which is why I'm the reverse of that. I try and get things done. Anyway, the long and the short of it was that I thought, well, I don't know about it. But then at the same time, or around that period, over from America came a production of West Side Story. And you're all much too young to remember it, but it was stunning. We had never seen dance like it. We had never seen a musical like it. And we discovered, some of us, that they did workshops. These working actors did their own workshops. We were enough to do the show in the evening, and they invited some English actors to go. And suddenly we thought, well, of course you should carry on doing workshop. even when you're a professional actor. You should never stop learning. You should always be progressing. And we haven't got anything like that. You do drama school, stop. And then you're supposed to know it all and be able to do everything. And most of them don't when they come out. You can't even hit a We then formed a little group of people, and there were, off the top of my head, Paula Jacobs, who was married to David Swift, who was beyond generous and wonderful. Johnny Worthy, Bill Hobbs was a fight director, John Alderton, a few of us. And Equity, at that time, was in Harley Street, and they let us use the top office to have meetings. And we had meetings for about a year, talking about what an actor centre could be like, and what sort of classes would we do, and would it be a meeting place, and all that sort of thing. And then suddenly, I think it was probably me, said, "Do you think anybody wants it apart from us?" So what we did was, in those days you didn't have social media, but we put an ad in the stage, which is what you did in those days, saying that there would be a meeting in the YMCA to discuss the possibility of an actor centre. And it was crowds of people, really lots of people came. And there was the usual sort of, it wouldn't work, and they tried that before in 1932. We don't need it, what do we need it for, and all this. And then a wonderful old actress called Anna Wing, she stood up and said, "Of course we fucking well want it. Be quiet, all of you, we're going to get on with it." And she changed the meeting was gradually dying. And after that, everybody said they wanted it. So we came away, we went back to Harley Street and started thinking. And then we decided that what we should do probably was to have some workshops. Everybody can say it's a good idea, but are they going to turn up? So we got all our mates, we got Gilly Lynn to do a dance workshop, got Ian McKellen to do, can't remember, but Ian McKellen. We got really top guys and women doing it in the various rooms at the YMCA. We took the YMCA for several days actually. And the first day, Clive hid. Clive was nowhere to be seen. Clive always hid when there was anything scary going on. And I came, and there was, rather like today, a queue round the block for these workshops, and they were absolutely sold out. Everybody had a ball, and wanted to say, "We've got to have this." So then we had to raise the money, which was a case of going to the BBC. Equity was amazingly generous. Michael Attenborough, lots of the radio stations, the BBC. And my argument when I went begging for money was that we are the only trade that doesn't continue to train after as plumbers do. Anybody like that, they continue their training and they keep developing new things. And also the idea that we should develop new shows and we'll have writers involved and everything. And then we had one small premises, and then we had a slightly bigger premises, and then of course we ended up in the ideal place, which is why I was so desperate about it going, was Tower Street. But what I want, we've been talking before about the Actor Centre, and it's wonderful that one has the classes, but I beg of you to support it so that you can develop into having a place where you can create a piece of work. A group of you can get together and hire a room or be in a room and contribute and then put it on in some pub or put it on here, maybe. Whenever youngsters ask my advice about being in the profession, my first thing is don't do it. Absolutely don't do it. It's so awful. And it doesn't matter whether you're very talented or not, you've just got to be very brave. If you're not, forget it. And then my next thing always was that you've got to grow your own. It's no good sitting waiting for the phone to ring or some agent to come up with a thing. And nowadays, of course, you do it much more because you have to do bloody rehearsals and interviews, don't you? You have to audition with filming, and hopefully there'll be classes on that. because that's something that I think is quite terrifying. But you could get good at doing that with one another, do you know what I mean? And there's endless scope. If you make this grow, it isn't just classes, and classes are great. You learn new things. I mean, we used to have a Saturday morning class, and I did it. And I got to the Royal Shakespeare Company because of that. I was a comedy girl, you know, I did bedsit girls and rag trades and things like that. And nobody thought of me as being Shakespearean. And I did a show with one of the directors, and he invited me to go to Stratford. That's the sort of thing that will begin to happen. The higher your standard goes, the more exciting the things you do, the more you'll attract the sort of people that will throw work at you, writers included. So do support it. I can't, I'm so old, I can't myself be involved in it, I'm afraid, as much as I can do to walk down the street. But I am thrilled beyond belief. We did work really hard to get it off the ground, we really did, and it was sometimes quite heartbreaking and difficult because we didn't have the communication that you've got nowadays. But it was worth it, my goodness it was. And you all make friends. Such a lonely business, isn't it, ours? You know, when you're out of work, you just feel there's nobody out. But if you've got somewhere to come and have a coffee, or talk about a bit of work, or maybe do a duologue or anything, do you know what I mean? Keeps you alive. So I wish you all ever so much luck with it. I hope it grows and grows and becomes terrific.
Thank you. But how fantastic to have one of the founders with us. And, you know, Anthony Hopkins has sent us all the good wishes and so forth. And I'm going to now introduce the rest of this team. So let me introduce first Louise Banger.
Okay, I think I'm the hustler in the group, but I want to say thank you all for coming. And I've been campaigning on this campaign with Kate for 4 years and all the rest of us. And it's been a long, hard haul, but I'm absolutely thrilled to be here today. And I'm here today because of a particular teacher who some of you may know called Nina Fimbra. She was an inspired teacher, and I remember going along to her class when I was struggling to get jobs after drama school. I couldn't convert them into jobs. Auditions, no job. And I went along to her class, and it was above the early actor centre was in Goode Street, and it was above the Reject China shop, which is because we all know about rejection. So, and I did that class, and all of a sudden I started getting jobs, and I started meeting people, and I started putting on plays, and then we moved to Tower Street. And there was a girl on reception who was doing something that went to Brazil, and I ended up in Brazil. That was Amy Ball. She ended up as head of casting at the Royal Court. Then I was in a Stoppard play. I mean, these things were all about networking and being in a building with like-minded people, creating a community of working, collaboration, creativity, and training. And it was really important to me, and I was very angry to lose it, and very angry on behalf of all the people who were dedicated to keeping it going, particularly Nina. She was a very dedicated teacher. So this programme means a lot to me, to us. It's 9 weeks. It's probably the most important 9 weeks of our campaign, because if you don't turn up, book a class, be here in the space, then it won't have a future. We're hoping that we can make this programme into another programme for the spring, and then if that goes well, then we'll be opening full-time permanently, we hope, in September. So I'm asking you to book a class, gift a class, book a membership, and also come to our fundraiser for Dame Harriet Walter, which is February the 3rd, 3 o'clock.
First.
Oh, sorry, yes. Oh, February the 1st. Whoops. And I also want to say that we've already got a meeting booked with Equity at the end of February to review how this goes. And we need to be able to feed them back information that this is something that you guys want, that we want it, and then they can start coming on board a little bit more and making this something for everybody that's permanent. And so I just ask you to fill the space and enjoy what we've created and spread the word. Thanks very much.
how to join. You have to be a member to take a class. That's how the old model always worked, and we like it, so we've stuck with that. But the membership for the pilot programme is 15 quid, which I think is very reasonable, because there's I don't know, how many classes, Avion, have we actually got on the website?
About 60.
There's at least 60 classes, and we're still adding them now. So your 15 quid gets you into Aladdin's cave. So the QR codes are the source of all online info. Now I'm going to introduce Kate Marylebone.
Thank you. So this is so beyond what we thought in terms of turnout. Who knew we were doing 2 sessions? This is amazing. Like Louise, I started at the Actors Centre years ago, and it kind of did change my life. I discovered the Meisner technique, which then translated into me working with that as a lot as an actor, and then teaching it, which I still do. I met amazing friends, people that I've known for years. I had incredible sort of artistic collaborations, opportunities in the Tristan Bates Theatre, creating, as Sheila said, writing my first co-written play there. And this was all in a feeling of kind of artistic environment, a collaborative environment. You could pop in for a cup of tea, hang out with a mate. And this is, so the classes and the community are what we're trying to kind of evolve together. And I'm in charge of the social media. That's not a skill I am learning, and I'm being helped by my daughter, Anouk. Can I ask people, if you are on social media, to follow us on Instagram, to tag us, to put stuff on your stories, to just engage with it. Sometimes because of the algorithm, you have to go looking. If you just rely on waiting for a new Actors Centre post to come through, you might not see it. So you have to be a bit more kind of investigative. Go onto our Insta page and then share stuff.
What have you called yourself?
The New Actors Centre.
Great.
The New Actors Centre. Our reach on X is about 2 people, so it's not. So we're kind of focusing on Instagram and Facebook. If anyone's got any really great ideas around social media, again, we are starting a TikTok. But that really requires quite a lot of young people to get engaged as well, because TikTok, to be honest, is much more of a medium for a kind of younger generation. So, not always, but predominantly. So again, if you've got good ideas, please don't feel afraid to come to us and get in touch and say, I can do this for you, or I can send a video, etc., etc. So all support, hugely welcome. Thank you very much. Yeah.
Dame Sheila has to go soon, so we're moving this along. But in the room now are quite a few of the tutors. I'm a tutor, Kate's a tutor, Andrew's a tutor.
Anna's a tutor, Alex is a tutor.
Exactly. So we're among you here, and if you go on the website, you'll see a face, you'll see a class, and you click on that. And the person who has uploaded every single piece of information, every bio, every photo, every bit of the bump is Aviana Snow.
What we have on offer is we have Carlos Sandin doing clowning, we have Rosie Nichols doing comedy, we have Catherine Harvey doing poetry, we have Harry himself leading a class on self-taping. So there is really quite a wide, diverse range of classes. It was important to us to make sure that this was geared towards the modern industry as it is in 2026. So we have some classes coming up in how to make your own low-budget film, stuff that is interesting and is necessary for today, because I think today actors are expected to have skills that we never used to need before. We all have to learn to tape, how to make our own shows, etc. So there's really, really lots of classes. Some of the classes next week only have 2 or 3 people booked on them, so I would encourage you to please book on these classes, otherwise the whole thing is not going to be sustainable. And just another plug for Harriet Walter doing a masterclass on Sunday 1st February in the theatre. 3 people are going to be able to actually go on the stage and work with Harriet, and then the rest of the tickets are observing tickets. But and you can, if you become a member, you get that event at a cheaper price than if you book it through the Marylebone website, which is open to the public. So please do book a class. I would love to see you there, and thank you so much for your support.
Okay, well, I think think we should, as they say, hit it and quit it. But this is about inspiring one another. It's about realising that we have much more power than we've been led to believe, or that we've been brought up to think, and that it's been done before, it can be done again. It starts when any of us step out of our comfort zone, talk about this project. If you've got 15 quid to spare but you don't think you can make a class, buy a membership. You'll be helping us fundraise. As they said, that this 9-week pilot is the make or break for whether this thing takes root or not. So please take that away with you, and bless you so much for coming, and thank you to Alexander and to everybody for being here, including you. Thank you so much.